Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Rebecca and these are my reviews. Okay, so today's video is kind of a random one. I don't do a lot of favorites videos, basically because I feel like I always just end up talking about the stuff that I've already talked about in some sort of a review. So this is a collection of stuff that I basically just haven't talked about yet. So let's start off with these bad boys. I did haul these. These are from Bite Beauty and these are the Multisticks. Now they are called that because you are supposed to be able to use them on your lips, your cheeks, even your eyes as eyeshadow, which I thought was pretty cool. Bite Beauty is one of those companies that I just sort of love as a whole. I think that what they stand for and everything is super awesome. They use really great ingredients and pretty much across the board, every single thing I've ever tried from them, I have loved. Yeah, as far as I can remember, everything I have loved. So I only have two of them and the colors I have, Brioche and Cashew, are actually very similar in color. If you watched my haul video, you may remember that like every single lip color I got was very similar. I know. I need to branch out a little bit more. But see, those are the two colors. They're very close. One is basically just slightly darker than the other. Brioche is a little bit darker than Cashew, but they're both beautiful. I love these colors and I do find them to be flattering all over my face. I am wearing Brioche right now on my lips. I love the color. It is comfortable to wear. And one of the things that I was a little bit concerned about was the shape and size of this stick, because it is fairly sizable and it is, when you first get it, it's cut flat on the top like that instead of angled. But this one was just flat across. And I think that's because you are supposed to be using it in multiple areas. Now, on your cheeks, I do have some, but I could probably use a little more. I'm looking a little pale, so let's see. Basically what I do is that might have been a lot. Okay, that was a little much. But basically I just dab a tiny bit on and then I'm gonna try to use it on the other side too. And then I just blend it in with my finger. You could use a stipple brush as well. Either way works and it blends out so easily. It almost like feels like you're blending out one of those cream to powder products, even though this doesn't really end up being a powder. It just has a really interesting texture and it blends out so easily, so flawlessly. And like I said, I just love the colors on these. They do have an interesting color range. They have some really nice purpley tones and darker reds, a lot of browns, this kind of a shade. One of the issues that I have with applying things with your finger is that I have that skin that reacts. So my cheeks will turn bright red for a couple minutes and then it'll tone down and it'll be like, oh, that's where I put the blush. Okay, now I can decide if I need to reapply or blend it out better or whatever. So anyway, we will let that settle, but you get the idea of how these work. A dab on your cheeks, you could also do the same thing on your eyelids and just kind of smudge it out. And it does work well on your eyelids. It doesn't crease or anything, which I thought it might, but it doesn't. I was really concerned that it would be hard to stay within the lines. I'm not even wearing a lip liner today, and you can see it's not all over the place. It's not all over the place, is it? Anyway, I think one of the things that I like about it is that it has that sharp edge because it is just a blunt cut. And so if I need to get into a detailed area, I can just kind of turn it sideways and use it that way. It honestly has not been a big issue for me at all. Maybe if I was using like a dark red, I might be a little more concerned. But with these two shades, I haven't had any issues. I'm loving these. I think that they are beautiful, wonderful, miraculous little products that you can throw in your purse and use it for all sorts of things. Another wonderful makeup item, this is from Jouer, and this is the new highlighter. I have the color Topaz. This is such a pretty color, I love it. It is very similar to Becca Opal, which is my favorite highlighter ever, and this color looks very similar. It is quite pigmented, very shimmery. It's so silky and smooth and soft, it just blends like a dream. Let's put a little bit of this on there too. It's so pretty. I love it so much. I'm really impressed with Jouer. They're just, everything they've been putting out has been so great. Okay, so anyway, loving this. This I have on my eyes right now. This is from ColourPop, and this is in the color Hammered, which is this really beautiful dark olivey green with a ton of gold shimmer in there. If you've never used ColourPop shadows before, they have a really strange texture. They feel a bit like a damp powder. They're not quite a powder, not really a cream. They're just this crazy texture, and you can use them like you normally would with any sort of fluffy brush or a flat brush or whatever. They're really pigmented, really beautiful. They are fantastic quality, and they are super inexpensive. I think these are like $5 each or something. So anyway, I've really been loving this color. Such a beautiful color for fall. Like I said, it's on my eyeballs right now. Okay, so I think that's it for makeup. I have a little skincare item. This is Marula oil. This is by John Paul Selects, and you can get this at Sephora. Mostly they do hair stuff, but this is a face oil. Now you could also use this in your hair if you so desired. Mostly how I like to use this is I do a couple drops of my serum and then a couple drops of this. I mix it in my hands and then I basically just press it into my skin, and it's just such a great result. Something about this oil just helps everything to soak in, and it leaves my face hydrated but not overly so. Once I've done that, I go over it with a moisturizer, and I've been using this both day and night, and I really feel like my skin has just reacted really well to this. One of the things I was concerned about is that this does have essential oils in it. It's got like lavender and maybe something else, and sometimes I react weird to essential oils, but this particular one I have had zero bad reactions to. I've actually really been loving it, and the scent does go away. It's not one of those that lasts forever. So I like the packaging on this. The cool thing about it, now normally droppers trick me up and I always spill them. I haven't spilled this one yet. So you pull it up and then it's got the dropper in the top here, so you just squeeze that down to get a drop or two, and you can do just one drop at a time, which is nice. And then when you screw it back in, the little lip at the top goes down so that you can tell that it's actually screwed in. You know, if it's open a little bit, that will be up and you're like, oh, whoops, I need to close that. So I think that's kind of cool. I like the indicator because, you know, I'm not always good with that kind of stuff. Oh, I do have more makeup. I forgot about this bad boy. This is the Urban Decay Alice Through the Looking Glass palette. I got this for my birthday back in June. It is such a fun palette. First of all, the packaging. I mean, the packaging alone is why you should get this. It's so beautiful. You have this little mirror here, and more than that, you have this little thing that says, "I'm not strange, weird, off, nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours," which is a fabulous quote. And then you open it up, and there's the little butterfly in there, and it's just the cutest packaging. This is old news. I'm sure you've all heard about it and seen it and stuff, but I just loved it. Now, I just reviewed my Tarte Color Vibes palette, which I was saying is kind of a boring palette. I love it, don't get me wrong. I've been using it like every day. I love it for an everyday palette, but it's not a fun palette. This is a fun palette. Look at these beautiful colors. It just has this wonderful scope of crazy gem, wonderful, fun colors. This is a fun palette, telling you. So if you do want a fun palette and you can find this one, they might still have it at Sephora, I don't know. I would recommend it. I think it's just a beautiful, fun thing. Okay, enough about that. This has been my new favorite candle. This is from Bath & Body Works. This is Autumn Sunshine. And it smells amazing. It kind of has that cologne kind of a scent, you know, if you like those musky scents. I thought that it was going to smell totally different, but it smells warm and inviting, and I love it. I just absolutely love it. Let's see, what are the notes in this? Chilled orange, California mandarin, golden amber, green fir needle. It doesn't smell citrusy, like at all. Yeah, I thought that it was going to be way more citrusy. It's not. It's just, I don't know, I really love it. I also have Leaves, which is another one of their fall scents. That one smells exactly like apple cider. So speaking of food, I have a couple of food things. This is pho broth. This is from the company Savory Choice, and I get mine at World Market, Cost Plus World Market, whatever it's called. I originally got this in some box. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, it was some subscription box. It was like a food-based subscription box, and I fell in love with it. And I was like hoarding mine, and you can get it on Amazon, but it's really expensive. And then I found it at Cost Plus World Market, and I was like, oh, yay! So I stocked up on it. It is so delicious. So delicious. This, to me, when I'm not feeling well, I want to drink this all day long, and I will. I'll just boil some water and put this in a cup and sip on it, and it's just the most amazing, wonderful flavor. I love it so much, and it comes in these little individual packets, so you can just squeeze yourself a cup, or you can cook with this. You could make actual soup if you wanted to, or just like flavor your chicken dish with it, that kind of a thing. It just has a wonderful, amazing flavor. So I love this. This is kind of a fun thing. Okay, so the company actually sent me this. I've had it for months now. This is supposed to help your picky eaters to try more foods. Basically what it is it's this little guy, and his name is Milton, and he comes with a book. I don't know where the book is, it's gone, the kids ran off with it, and it basically tells his story that he's from outer space, and he wasn't eating very good food, and his whole world turned gray, and he was miserable. But then he came to Earth and started eating healthy foods, carrots and broccoli and chicken and whatever else you want to feed him. And then he got his color back, and now he's super happy. So you're basically just supposed to, you know, tell your kids the story, and then you put this next to them at the dinner table or on their high chair or whatever, and, you know, say, oh, do you want to try this? Let's see if Milton wants some. Oh, Milton loves these yummy carrots. And then, you know, you can just like dump it out later, and you can put him in the dishwasher and just, you know, wash him like a dish. And basically it's just supposed to encourage kids to try new foods. My kids are a little bit old for this. I think that if I had started when they were younger, it would have gone better. Although when my kids were younger, they were better eaters, especially my son. My daughter's not bad, but my son is a really picky eater, and I swear he's gotten worse as he's gotten older. When he was a kid, he would eat almost anything, and now he's like, oh, I hate everything. My kids love this guy. They totally love him, but they abuse it. They're like, oh, we want to feed all of our dinner to Milton, that way we don't have to eat. This is what happens when you give it to older, clever children. They just try to overfeed Milton, and you end up having to take Milton away, and they don't eat their dinner anyway. So for my kids, it didn't really work. They kind of outsmarted me on that one. But they did enjoy feeding Milton. I feel like this would be better for like super little kids if you have a picky eater. But I did think that it was fun and cute. So if you have a picky eater, you might want to check out Milton. It's kind of an interesting and fun product. I also have this book. This is Misery Bay by Chris Angus. It is about a Canadian detective who specializes in sex trafficking. I had a really hard time getting through like the first third of the book. It was just like, this is not subject material that I feel like reading about. I would rather be reading Twilight. The characters in it are really fun, and it takes place in a small town in Nova Scotia. It took me a little while, but then once it gets going, it gets really exciting, and then it has a really nice ending where you walk away feeling better about life in general. It was a really fun, exciting read, and I definitely enjoyed it. So that's the latest book that I have read. Speaking of books, The Girl on the Train, the movie is just coming out. I read that book too. That was a fabulous book. Can't wait to see the movie. Okay, so that is my fun and interesting things of late. I think I might do more videos like this. So let me know if you guys like this kind of video, you know, where I'm just talking about new things that I've been into lately that I haven't really talked about on my channel yet. And let me know if you have any recommendations for me or for each other in the comments section. I love when you guys chat with each other, and we have a whole community going on here. That's what this is about. And I'm sure if you follow me on Snapchat, you've already heard a ton about all of this stuff. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!